That was crazy. When I started the show, the camera was frozen. Not sure what that means. Do you see that though? And it was just stuck, the camera. It was wild. Absolutely stuck there. And by the way, perplexed Laura, she sent in the $100. So, oops, there goes my stomach. Some of the money that I donated today was from that bet. So that's cool. But I didn't keep any of that money. It went to charity. Yeah, the speaking part was because I didn't have the mic, the gain of the mic turned on. I forgot. But I'm still on the original show, right? This isn't a second show that started up. Is that true? Okay, looks like it. Okay, it's the original. All right. Well, the number up on the screen is the number that you guys, if you have a personal true crime story, that's the number you use to call in. All right. Yeah, it was funny. I was watching another channel, and then Harvey Carroll was in there, and he commented. He said, "Hey, have you guys seen David Webb? How he got to the crime scene?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen the video. He never made it to the crime scene. He actually walked down the 505 trail, and that was it. Yeah, he did nothing related to going to the crime scene in his video. He's the guy that was talking about garrots and all that crap." I'm basically doing this for Patricia. Is she she here? She said she's in the hospital and needed something to do. Well, you'll have to look up George Webb. I'm not going to help you. Or him. Yeah. Do you guys want to see what the actual... I don't even know if I want to do it, but here's what the... Look at the pins on Google Earth there. That looks like a lot, right? But that's not even close. I'll show you the actual number of pins. Let me move over to that screen, though. So you look at this screen right here, and you see all these pins, and you think, wow, that's a lot. But here's the reality of it. I just turned them all off, right? Now I'm going to turn them all on. This is the actual number of cases that we've... Look at that crap. Look at this. That's insane. I can't even... It doesn't even... I can't function on the computer with all that. And again, if you want to move somewhere safe, move right here somewhere. Okay? Right there. Like, I would move right here. Where is that? Let's see where that is on a map. I would move right... Well, it looks like part of Texas is pretty safe. Right up in there. And just live out on one in... apparently you want to live in Groover, Texas, for example. Alright? Or how about like right in the heart of that? Okay. Oklahoma. Right in that little narrow strip right there. Call it good. That's going to put up all the recent ones again. Well, this is for you guys to call in and tell your stories. Does anybody out there have any experience where they witnessed a crime? If not, this will be a really short show. I think a lot of those ones that were turned on were shows that somebody brings something up and then I go, oh yeah, yeah, and then we go look at it. I don't know, there's a lot of murders in Hawaii. Yeah, moved to the Panhandle, yep, of Oklahoma. Florida has one too, but who has a true crime story? Man, you guys are getting boring. Man, you don't, it's like, yeah, I have some, but I don't really, I don't want to say it. It's, well, here's your chance. Yeah, it's, I don't know. The West Coast in Oregon got bombed by the Japanese. Fort Stevens. I mean, that's not really inland. I guess that's what you're saying, but. Why don't you call in, Video Chimp? You probably got something, right? I guess if I get bored, I'll just go over here. Let's see. There we go. Body parts found in boxes. Think that shows up somewhere? How about this one? 1999. Listen to this one. The parents of a woman charged with killing her roommate, whose body parts were found stuffed in boxes, cried Friday during a court appearance for their daughter. Deborah Point, 38, is charged with second-degree murder. I think as soon as you start chopping body parts up, body parts off of somebody, it should leave the realm of second-degree murder. She was arrested Thursday morning at a downtown bar after Trudeau's remains were found in several boxes in the garage of a city home. Point's case was adjourned in provincial court until I'm sure she's out today. You know, this is Canada, right? Probably a week later they went, come on. Jeez. I mean, because you can cut heads off in Canada and then get on a bus and then be walking the streets real soon. She was a psychotherapist. Wow. I wonder if while she was being killed, she was thinking, if I'd only done more to help this person. No, I definitely will judge it. I think it's stupid. Okay? Alright? So I'm going to judge it. Alright? Thank you. So don't tell me what to judge or whatever. I think it's absolutely moronic in Canada what they do. Alright? Now, people in Canada who think it's okay that the guy that was on the bus that chopped the guy's head off and he got out 5 years later, you think that's okay, you're an idiot. All right? I'm just going to tell you that right now. FedEx workers discovered a shipment of 2 human legs and an arm when a box was found leaking at a company depot, police said. A Las Vegas donor research company sent the limbs. Oh, man. That's a donor? You're going to donate a limb? To a man who sells body parts to doctors for use in research. Wait, so it was just leaking all over the place? Huh. Anyways, I'm just trying to fill in time. If nobody's going to call in, I'll just do the show a different day and delete the video. It's really for you guys to call in. I mentioned it earlier. I was hoping. Isn't Illiterate Inc. The guy that used to come in here all the time? Now, we're not judging anything. I said that in Canada they let people out. You'd have to go back up and read the conversation. Yeah, we've talked about that. Oh, yeah? Now there's so many of them. 1995. Body parts found in scattered boxes. Pieces of a woman's dismembered body, some painted blue or gold, were found packed in boxes left at 4 sites around the El Paso area. The boxes were found Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. An autopsy Monday determined all the body parts, including the head and torso, were from the same person. The cause of death was probably multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. Well, now I'm going to have to go find more about this one. Okay. That's crazy, right there. Oh yeah, LJ, right? Is that who that is? Illiterate Inc. is LJ. Always with the crazy comments. It never quite makes sense to anybody, but we allow it. So where was this found? Oh, got a call. Hello! 918, you're on the air. Not much. Who's this? Oh yeah? What do you... Oh yeah?
I got the opportunity here recently to meet your favorite rapper, Vanilla Ice.
Oh yeah? Van Winkle, whatever his name is?
Yeah, so I twisted up some gray haze that I had, and actually as we were smoking it, I got to show him a video of you rapping
come on.
his song for him. No shit. It was the funniest thing. We laughed for like 5 minutes about that, man. I wish I would have filmed it, man, but I just didn't even think about it, bro. I just thought I'd hit you up and let you know. We just laughed.
Where was it? Where was it?
What's that?
Where did this happen?
In Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, you just ran into him somewhere and said, "Hey, you got to check this out."
No, actually, a friend of mine, he was playing a show here, and a friend of mine does some work at the venue and whatnot, and got me some meet and greet tickets and whatnot. I had no idea about it till, a few hours before it happened.
Ah.
So, yeah, I wasn't prepared or anything. I just happened to have my phone. I was like, hey, check this out. And played it. It was it was the one where you did the voice alterations and whatnot. So it was all like chopped and screwed. And yeah, he got a kick out of it. It was pretty funny, man.
Oh, cool. That's funny.
But,
you should have. That would have been amazing if you had filmed that. It would have been hilarious.
Dude, like I said, I'm a pothead, so chances of that happening is pretty slim.
Well, cool for telling me the story.
Be good, brother.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
All right, have a good one. You too. Thanks.
Later, brother.
All right, bye. Wow, that's pretty funny. He actually played one of my Vanilla Ice raps. I don't remember the one where it was using voice alteration, but I think maybe I do remember it. Oh, wait, that's right. Oh, no wonder it was doing that. Okay. So remember how before other people's voices would change, but that's because I accidentally had the effects on for that channel too, but you really just want it on my own channel, and then I can hit the button, and then that's in the middle.
And then I sound like this, but it doesn't affect the music, you notice that?
Or I could sound like this. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding.
Alright, hold on, I gotta find this case now. Let's see, body parts found in boxes. So now we can narrow it down to 1995 Texas. And let's see. Saturday and Sunday and on time. El Paso, Texas. I wonder if we could put that in there. Okay. Yeah, so this is all going to be the same thing. That's May 11th. Is this related? Body was then cut up with an axe, police said. Body parts were found in boxes scattered around. Okay, yeah, that's going to be the same one. But that's later. Okay, so this is when I think when it first started. FBI to help police solve bizarre killing. Oh man, I might have to like do something with this. As soon as I read it, I knew this wasn't going to be just a ho-hum type of a case. A specialized, excuse me, that's my little foot rest. Gotta fix that. But we'll get right on this in just a second. Because now I'm interested. Yeah, don't hit the like button if you don't want to hit the like button. But hopefully, either hit the dislike or like. Do something, for God's sakes. Alright, a specialized FBI unit will be called on today to help identify the person who killed and dismembered a woman in El Paso, police said Monday. The FBI's Behavioral Science Unit in Quantico will help develop a psychological profile of the person responsible for the killing, and leaving body parts of her body around El Paso and southern New Mexico. Wow. There are people who have studied and become experts on different types of killers and what the evidence can tell about them. Autopsy results released Monday show the woman was killed by 5 small caliber gunshot wounds to the chest. Police also recovered several fingertips they believe are the woman's, the latest in a string of gruesome discoveries since Friday. We feel that we have just about the entire body, Police Lieutenant Paul Cicedo said. That means the person wanted them to be found. Investigators still have not identified the victim, described as a light-complected woman between 30 and 40 years old, 5'1" to 5'3", weighing about 135 pounds, with blue eyes, brown hair, and freckles. Police released a photograph of the woman Monday. Really? Well, let's see, what day is this? This is Tuesday, so let's see if there's, I can go back to this. That'll be the 20th. There it is. This is February 20th. Police say killer wants body noticed. Hey, didn't I just say that? He wanted it found. If you find all the parts like that, of course he wants it found. Public help in identifying the slain woman. Described as being 30 to 40, 5'2" to 5'4", 140. Let's see. Since Friday, body parts belonging to a woman have been found around El Paso and in New Mexico. Wow. That's crazy. A killer appears to be deliberately leaving body parts in places where they are certain to be noticed. It certainly looks that way because there are certainly a lot of places these pieces could have been placed. Right, see? I mean, you have all these little tiny parts, fingerprint, and they have almost the entire body. Certainly looks that way because these pieces could have been placed where we would never have found them. Police Lieutenant Paul Cicedo says. Police have found body parts believed to be from a woman in boxes at 4 separate El Paso area sites since Friday. Investigators do not know the woman's name. They believe she was between the age of 30 and 40. And we just went through all the other stuff earlier. Sunday morning, a woman's torso was found in a cardboard box just off War Road in southern New Mexico. Maybe I should... Now I have to put this in here. El Paso body parts in boxes. You guys don't mind me doing this, do you? Hey, everybody. How's it going? Now, this is from 1995, but I just want to go through it, see what's up. Just off of War Road in southern New Mexico, 3.5 miles north of the Texas state line. So let's see, War Road, New Mexico. Okay. Okay, that's War Road, and it says 3.5 miles. So we'll start right there and go. So right there, there's the state line. 0.35. Wow. That's kind of weird. I mean, that's almost, that little dot when you type in War Road is almost exactly at the 3.5 mile mark. Hey, thanks, Shay. Nope, so this is what it looks like. This desert. There's one body part found right there. That was the first place. Let's see. Sunday morning, a woman's torso was found in a cardboard box just off War Road in southern New Mexico, 3.5 miles north of the Texas state line. Cecita said. Donna Ana County Sheriff's deputies initially investigated the site and turned the remains over to El Paso police. The box was clearly visible from the road and was discovered by passerby. Later Sunday, police were summoned to an area outside an apartment complex on Astor Street in El Paso. Let's see. So it's not really that far away, right? So does it end right there, Astor Street? Or does it keep going somewhere? So that's probably it. And there's an apartment complex, maybe right there. I mean, this is 1995. I don't know if it would have changed much. Let's see. I can go back to 91. See, those apartments look like they're still there. 91. This is 96. These are all homes, not apartments. So I would think, you know, these might be apartments or these. And maybe even those. Let's see. Yeah, those are apartments, for sure. And looks like these are probably apartments here. So that's not. So it's going to be either these or these. So I'll just put a pin just generally down here like this. The box was clearly visible from the road. Later Sunday, police were summoned to an area outside an apartment complex. Got that one. Neighborhood residents told police the box was not there when they passed by a few hours earlier. A box found Saturday was in the area area police had searched after the first remains were found. Friday. Body parts were found Friday off. Wow, so they found another box of remains, sounds like, over in, right over here again. Or, where was that? Right up here. Because they went back there again. So we'll just put like, body parts were found Friday off of Lee Trevino. in Lower Valley and Saturday in the same area off of Loma Land. So let's see, Lee Trevino. That must be a street named after the golfer. There it is. So that's a pretty big street. That's going to be hard to... yeah, it goes way over here. Let's see what they have on that map. Okay. Loma Land and Lee Trevino. I'll just put a pin on Lee Trevino.
Oh, hello?
Ah, crap. I'm trying to figure out my settings here. Hold on. Alright, so somebody called in, and looks like 623. You're on the air. How's it going? Pretty good. Who's this? Do you need something, or I mean, it looks. It doesn't sound like you have anything. What do you want to say? Right, but you sound like you're just kind of. I mean, are you ready to tell the story, or?
In Kansas, and there was this really crazy like unsolved crime that's still unsolved to this day, and it was in like 2005. This guy went into a pharmacy and he killed everyone that was inside, which was the owner and like 2 customers. So after he killed like the 2 people that were inside, or the 3 people that were inside, apparently he like ran away or whatever, and then he went to the elementary school and he snuck in or whatever, and that was the last I ever saw of him. The news just broke out that that like they kind of like think they know who it is, and guess how crazy this is? They think that it was the preschool like principal. Can you imagine taking your kid to the damn preschool and then you find out that the guy that leads that preschool just murdered people?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Did you? What made you think of this story? Were you living near there? Or?
So Bonner Springs is like it's a very small town, you know, it's in Kansas, and it's so my house was right next to the preschool. It's like literally right across the street from it.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know. I heard about it, and I was like, that's like really crazy because I literally like lived right there. I went to that preschool when I was a kid.
So what happened?
Very like.
What ended up happening?
Well, they ended up searching his house, and they found like corpses and stuff of like children, like little like baby, not like literal children, but like, you know, what's it called?
Like adolescents?
Infants.
Oh, infants.
Like infant body stuff, and
yeah,
it's terrible. And then they found like dead like animals and stuff, and they like arrested him, and he's in prison right now. I think he's serving like he's not even serving life though.
What was he?
He's serving like.
Were they fetuses?
Like,
like he had fetuses or something, or literally like aborted babies or something.
Like fetuses.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like there's a certain age when a fetus is actually I would call it a life, you know. So it's like.
Yeah.
I wonder how he collected them.
Huh?
I wonder how he collected them.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is like, how would a guy like that even get that? Because he's not like, he doesn't work for a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wow, it's a crazy one. I haven't heard of that story. Maybe I'll look it up.
It's a very less known case, I guess. I don't know how to, like,
What was the town again?
Bonner Springs, Kansas.
And how do you spell that, the first part again? Bonner?
Bonner. And then space
Spring.
SPRINGS,
Spring, yeah.
yeah. And then whenever you, like, look it up, you have to look up, like, it's the Dollar General murder is what they call it, because it's, like, the pharmacy was, like, jointed into the Dollar General. Just look it up, yeah. Just look up, like, Dollar General murder, Bonner Springs. You'll find it.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for calling in and telling the story. I have to be careful on the calls because I'm never sure who's... I have this little button that I have to push if there's a weirdo. I get really crazy callers, so I'm never sure. So if you call in, you got to start off right off the bat, like, excited to talk. Because usually the people that call in sound a little bit like how you did to start when they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I like to, like, start out just being like, hey, how you doing? And then, you know, getting into it progressively. You know?
Oh, that's cool. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I had that same vibe, but seems like he was telling a story. I want to continue on the one that I'm looking at, though. Sorry, I'm sidetracked on this story here. Police believe the latest findings are linked to other discoveries because of a common factor: paint. At every site where we have found body parts, there has been painting involved. Not necessarily on the body. In some cases, the body parts had been painted, while in others, the site around the box had been painted. Other parts of the body are still missing and may be found later, he said. An autopsy is scheduled today. It could be one person or a gang, or the activity could be drug related. Yeah, I'm sure you wish that's what it was. Alright, so this is what we were just looking at were the original articles, but it looks like they keep talking about it later. Like, this is July 1995. Okay, not this one. There was another article that I was looking at. Hold on. No, this one here, the May 11th one. Oh, so I guess there might be a suspect. I just want to see how this resolved. James Patrick Bradley, accused of killing and then dismembering his wife, will plead not guilty by reason of insanity, his lawyer said Wednesday. We are going to file a motion. Let's see. The 33-year-old victim was shot with a .22 caliber rifle in their home in the 5400 block of Olson, and her body was then cut up with an axe, police said. Body parts were found in boxes scattered around El Paso in the days before Bradley's arrest. During questioning by police, Bradley admitted to the killing according to a signed confession. Hill said he hasn't seen Bradley's statement to police, but said his client told him he confessed after being questioned for 10 hours. Right, okay. So it sounds like that's the guy, right? Were discovered over 5 days in different parts of town. The victim was identified after television station broadcast pictures of her head, and her husband was arrested within 12 hours of the first TV broadcast. Okay, well, so the FBI got in there, they put the picture out, and boom. All right. So now I've got somebody on hold. Hold on a second. And 602, you are on the air. How's it going? Who's this? Okay, so this case is a new case, or I mean, what makes you call and him call at the same night?
Well, I don't know who, it was, but I live in Kansas too. Oddly enough, so just to go back to what he was saying that it is the Dollar General murders. The Dollar General murders are a completely different murder.
Oh, okay.
Two guys went to a Dollar General in an attempt to rob it, and then they ended up torturing and ending up killing her in the back room,
Yeah.
like the cashier lady.
Uh-huh.
And like it went to like Supreme Court. Not like Supreme Court, but it went to like high court, like high Kansas City court.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard of the Dollar General one. But what's
Yeah,
the other
It
story?
was pretty. It was so what?
Oh, go ahead. You were saying the other stories, though. What about the other one that he mentioned?
Well, the other one that he mentioned, I've never heard of that story happening ever in my life. But I was like, I heard him say something about like Dollar General Bonner Springs, and I was like, that's not what happened at all, actually. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to look it up. But I've heard of the Dollar General store one before, though.
Yeah, she had like I've heard people describe it wherever, and from what I hear of what happened, they like hit her, like poured gasoline on her. They like put like the end of a ladder how it has like the little stamp or whatever thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? They put that in her eye. They like really, really, really messed her up. I've heard that Hamberlin, which was got like 50.
Who you talking about? I can't. You're really breaking up on me.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry. Sorry, bud.
What were we talking about?
You should really take a look at it.
The Dollar General one. That's in Kansas also.
Well, that's also.
Yeah. Yeah, your audio's like breaking out. I think your connection to your phone is breaking up.
That's better.
That's a little bit better now. I can hear it.
All right. Well, what I was saying was, yeah, you should definitely take a look at it because I mean, it's just completely scary case. It's like terrifying when you first take a look at it, and then you read it even more, and it's just.
Was it solved
brutal.
or?
Huh?
Has it been solved?
It has. They got the two guys, or whatever. Like, it was unsolved for like 5 years, but they finally got them. And one of the murderers gets out in like 5 years. They didn't get life for it.
Why not?
But the other one got like 50 years, something like that.
Mm. So one of them was able to. One of them probably was. They used him to get the information on the other one, and then he got a lesser sentence.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it was probably like a plea deal type of situation.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to do that. Sounds
that's true.
Sounds pretty horrific.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check it out.
Sad case though.
Yeah. What year was this? Like 1990, something like that.
2005, I want to say.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Robin Bell was her name.
Robin Bell.
Yep.
Okay, maybe I'll put that in there. Robin Bell. All right, we'll check it out. I might even do it now.
Awesome.
Since we just solved the other one. When I was just reading about the next article had some husband had done it to his wife, chopped her up with an axe and put paint around. I mean, what the hell was this guy doing? Yeah.
He's probably high.
Probably. Or just a psycho. Maybe he's done that before, and then he just finally ran out of victims, so he goes, hell, I'll do it to my wife.
You never know.
You
never know what's going on inside that house. I mean, she could have been abusing him or something like that. Things that people don't know, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's usually the other way around, though.
Like that one girl. What was her name? Girl that was in like Missouri,
Huber,
or like Springfield or something. She was like
Hubers
disabled. She murdered her mom.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
Gypsy Rose or whatever, Blanchard.
Yeah.
Everyone thought they were perfectly fine, and all of a sudden, like, mom's dead, and she's fleeing with this psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. It was just all an act for money. They were just using it to get money, right, for donations and stuff.
Yeah, well, no, the mom had a Munchausen by proxy, faking the sickness and everything like that.
But they got money sent
So
to them,
she
though, right? Like,
no, yeah, they got a ton of money for it because of because Gypsy had all these diseases. People were like, oh my God, like this girl's like a one-of-a-kind
right.
sadness case.
Right, like a bunch of fundraisers.
But
She had none of them.
Pills.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, the mom was taking all the pills, too. It was
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's really the proxy, Munchausen. It sounds to me like that's just some kind of an excuse.
It's pretty bad.
What it sounds like to me is like she really just wanted to apply a bunch of diagnoses to her kids so she could get money and drugs. That's what it sounds like.
That's what Munchausen by proxy is.
Well, no, that's usually you just.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's basically like you fake a sickness or whatever on you or by your child or somebody else or whatever that you are related to in most senses at least.
But don't they think that's a psychological disorder?
You use that fakeness of it sickness to get attention.
Yeah. But see, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with the attention part of it. I think in her case, she did it to get the money and the drugs. Like, hey, man. Oh, look at as soon as you type that in, that image shows up on the screen. Isn't that hilarious? Look at that. You type in Munchausen, and then there she is with the kid. That's hilarious. Wow.
Damn.
So I guess she made it to the dictionary. Yeah, if you look up in the dictionary, Munchausen by proxy, you'll find, and then boom, they actually achieved that goal. Now she's even more famous. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I have to be going to bed at this point. Right. I have work tomorrow. It's 11:06 out here.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Thanks for fixing that story.
Yeah. I hope you investigating that case.
All right. Cool. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Fuck you.
Bye bye. I couldn't tell what he said at the end. Was it talk to you or a bad word? Yeah, I don't think in this case it's psychological. I think that's just an excuse that people come up with. She did it because she wanted the money and the drugs. Yeah, I thought you said that. That's what I thought you said. Talk to you. That's what I thought you said. But it was kind of weird. It was like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah, he's right there. He said talk to you. All right, well, let's look it up, dang it. I'm going to go to, let's see, 2005, Kansas. Oh, got another call coming in. All right. What was it? 608, you're on the air. Yeah, who's this? Yeah.
87 about a girl named Angela Faye Hackl.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Her name is spelled ANGELAFAEHACKL.
Okay, well, how do you spell the last name again? So it's Angela, right? And then what's the last part?
HACKL. HACKL.
But but it was Feckhakl, right?
Faye is just her middle name.
Oh, Faye. I thought you said.
F-A-Y-E, that's her middle name.
Man, my screen's bouncing all over the place. Okay. So it's F-A-Y-E. So her name is Angela Faye Hackl, right?
Yeah.
But it's
a
F-A...
weird last name.
Okay, but it's F-A-Y-E, right? And then Hackl, H-A-C-K-L. That's kind of weird. That's not...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. It's a really weird last name.
And what year was that? 1995?
Yeah, but, no, this is from 1987.
Okay.
In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin? You're breaking up a little bit, but yeah, so Wisconsin? Okay.
Let me turn the volume down. Is that better?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I know if you have the volume too loud on a thing that, like, if I'm watching the show on, I know it'll mess up the show. Like
okay,
the
so...
audio.
Oh, yeah. So Wisconsin, 1987. Let me get rid of 1987. Oh, wow. There it is, 1987. But it's... Oh, yeah, it's... Wow, they even spelled it the same way. For some reason, it wasn't showing up, though. Even though I had 1987. Maybe I had something weird in there. But, yeah, I see it in the paper here.
This case got screwed up. Like, some older elders where I was living at in Wisconsin made a point to tell me the date when she died, and they made me grab some of the information about what happened to that girl. Because from what they were saying, she got lured out to the woods near Sauk Prairie or Prairie du Sac or something like that, like out around Sauk City area, because it's all like a tiny bunch of towns that's unincorporated, but they real close to each other. But she got lured out to some woods and hung up by her neck, but she was like raped, shot, gutted, and they tried to set her on fire to burn her up. And when they arrested one of the guys, his name was Terry Volbreich, and that's a weird last name to spell, but I got the correct spelling for it right in front of me. Terryv.
Yeah, I can't write it down. I think it's in these articles that I'm looking at. What year was that? Like late 87 or?
Yeah, this was like around 87, and I think he might have got busted for it like in 89 or something, I think. Like, I think that's like how long it took them to figure it out. And like, they arrested him, but this is the weird part about it. He's saying that he's innocent, and a bunch of other people that were in jail were like blaming other guys for it. And the other odd part about it that the elders told me about was they said that the other thing that was really important to it was they were saying that there was a guy who was really rich that spent $425,000 to bail out some murderer, and something about that had to do with some dirty cop that like shot a couple that he thought were witnesses to when the girl got killed. But it's like, so why did that dude take it upon himself to think that he had to kill somebody over that murder for the Angela girl? And then the other weird thing was like, why did the rich dude, Kurt Mueller, why did he spend $42,000 to buy the dude out? Because it made the news. When he spent the money to buy the dude out, that made the news. And the crazy thing is the DA is related to him, and it's a female
for all
DA.
you do for true crime and facts.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. So you think there's like a thanks, Ashley. So you think there's like a conspiracy here, or?
That's what the old people were telling me. But I was just wondering if you could make heads or tails of it, because like it's just like out in that area, like what they saying. Where the hell would the people have been located that would have heard her? Because from my understanding, they thought it was a couple that rode on the road near there.
So was it just her that was murdered? It sounds like there was more than one person murdered.
They murdered other people after the fact.
Well, it said murdered were 18-year-old Angela Faye Hackl of Lone Rock and 29-year-old Linda Nakriner of Del Prairie. Still missing is 30-year-old Barbara Blackstone of Linden Station.
Jesus Christmas.
Are those not? This is from July 31st, 1987, an article.
Damn.
So I don't know.
I didn't even know that. You got... Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so it says, Thursday, Sauk County Sheriff Daniel Hiller said there is no apparent... Okay, maybe there's no connection between these then. But it does mention... them. Well, no, but they said them all at the same time. I think they're just talking about the Wednesday discovery of a second murder victim in the Sauk, Genoa, and Adams counties area. One of 3 women reported missing in the past 2 months has left many people wondering. But it does say down here, Thursday, Sauk County Sheriff Daniel Hiller said there is no apparent connection between Hackl murder and the other cases. He said there are reasons to believe the Nakriner and Blackstone cases are connected. Hiller said circumstances differ between the Hackl killing and the Kreiner and Blackstone cases. Okay, so maybe they're not connected. Maybe that's why you haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, but you know the weird thing is if they are connected, then that would be the reason why the old people were telling me to look that stuff up, because this is what they were saying. Their knowledge of it was they were there. Like one of the people that told me, he heard the lady dying. Him and his girlfriend were riding a motorcycle or whatever and coming home, and he's like sitting, like, I guess in the backyard drinking or whatever with the girl, and then they hear somebody screaming. They didn't know what the hell it was, and they didn't go look. You know? But I guess the people that got shot later that they thought were the witnesses were a couple on a motorcycle, from what I heard, and they got handcuffed, sat on the curb, and then the guy executed them. That's the story I was told by the 2 elders that told me about what was going on. But the female elder, she was saying that there was a DA that kept screwing up cases out there, and she said the lady's name was Mueller, and she said you need to look up Kurt. Kurt bonded somebody out, and she gave me the date, and that's all I had to work for was like Kurt and the date. And sure enough, when I looked it up, Kurt Mueller spent $425,000 to bond somebody out, a convicted murderer. And you know, the DA's last name is spelled exactly the same as the guy who bonded the person out. So the weird thing about that is all of these other guys started stepping forward saying that they had something to do with it, and saying like, well, I was in jail with the one guy, and he said that he's the one that killed that Angela girl. So like, if you saying that on the article there was a rash of girls disappearing, it kind of reminds me of something before I left that area. The weird thing was a whole bunch of other people started dying. Like at one point in time, like 17 people died of like fentanyl poisoning. And all of the townies were telling me, this was around when the elders and everybody came around, they were like, this happened before. Like different little things like this has happened before. Like, but they would be trying to get rid of people for different reasons or another. And we ended up talking to one detective, and the funny thing is, he was covering something up, and they were saying that they had home court advantage. Have you ever heard of home court advantage?
Oh yeah, in sports. Yep.
Yeah, but imagine if you had home court advantage as a lawman. A home court advantage, from what they explained to me, was if they were in over their head, that they didn't have to contact higher law enforcement. Like they didn't have to contact the FBI or DCI. They get to investigate on their own. So if one of them had something to do with something weird going on, or something bad was happening, or a bunch of people died and they didn't know how to make heads or tails of it, they don't have to contact anybody because they have home court advantage. And he also said, like, if you got a problem with it, we investigate ourselves. And I'm like, okay. like, you funny.
Yeah, well, they actually ended up I found the original article when they found her. They knew that she was missing, and so let's see. Authorities hope an autopsy today will help identify whether a young woman's body discovered in a wooded field here Monday is that of an 18-year-old woman from Lone Rock who has been missing since last weekend. I have a strong suspicion it is the girl we've been looking for, and it says Schramm, a neighbor of 18-year-old Angela Faye Hackl, but they left the E out, who has been missing since last Friday, said he was satisfied that the body found late Monday morning by Sauk and Richland County deputies was Hackl's. And they actually have a map. I can kind of see where this was found. Body found here in town of... Well, it's kind of a shitty map. But
yeah, Prairie du Sac, Park City.
Yeah, S-A-U-K County. But near... well...
Huh. Yeah.
On US 12, about 2.5 miles from the site. Let's see. Let's see. Hiller said the deputies found an abandoned four-door Pontiac sedan, which Schramm said belonged to Hackl's boyfriend, Saturday on US 12, about 2.5 miles from the site where the body was discovered. Hackl was reported missing several hours later. That's kind of weird. So what did the boyfriend, she was just borrowing his car or what?
I don't know, because, like, if she got hung up by a tree, do you think he was, like, Jason Voorhees? How'd he do it by himself? Like, there was, like, he put a lot of hurt on her if he did it by himself. But he looked real guilty if his car was there.
Yeah. Well, how about I'll just go look into, I'll just do this right now on the show, see what's going on just the paper. Yeah, I don't know all the, it's too complicated, all the rumor stuff that you're saying. It doesn't.
I don't even see how the heck you even found the news articles that you found. It's impossible to find those damn things.
Well, I have newspapers.com, and they go back. They have a lot of old stuff. It kind of just depends on how you type it in. I actually literally typed in, I knew when she went missing, so I typed in June 1987, body found. Because at that point, and they spelled her name wrong. Okay, so when I was using Faye, F-A-Y-E, they spelled it F-A-Y, so it didn't get a hit on that. That's why it didn't find it. So now I do have this article right here.
There's another reason why I'm looking into this too. And the funny thing is, that's a little trick that they do to help throw some of the stuff off when you're trying to investigate the stuff after the fact. Like, one of the girls, because they still hurting people, some of the people involved with that are still hurting people. And some of the people had children that got hurt that was telling me that they would change, the court people would change their daughter's name for a restraining order against the person that raped this little 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, or 11-year-old, and they'd have the girl's name spelled wrong. So basically it would be like the restraining order was null and void. Because it's not the guy's name on that, so he'd still be contacting the little child on Facebook and whatnot, and that's stuff that was just going on in a couple of years from this. But the weird thing is, like I said, like, some of the people, like the guy who got convicted for this and a couple other guys that went in jail was saying that they did it and this guy didn't do it and all of this other stuff and everything. But it's like, why would this person take credit and why would this person take credit, But from what I heard, there's like 2 or 3 other guys trying to take credit for the dang. Why would somebody else take credit for this? But maybe they were working together. I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't seem like you'd want to, but All right. Well, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna. You can get off. You can listen on the air. I'm gonna try to look at this one right now, just to sort of read about it. Is that cool?
Okie dokie. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're...
Be safe.
I think you've called before, right? I mean, I remember it.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. In fact, like I didn't email you the stuff because I've been trying to gather everything together, and this is part of it.
I knew it.
Like,
I knew it.
That's
what I was wondering. I knew it. I knew. I was like, he was supposed to send me a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
organized.
Like this is the girl's car, but I had to get a few more files, and this is one of the other things that I've been researching, trying to grab together too, because it relates in a weird way. But this is just like kind of bizarre because I didn't know that there was those other two girls. I didn't know about the other two girls.
Well, it doesn't say that they said they weren't. It
didn't
didn't say that they were connected though. They could be.
I was a little bitty kid when this crap happened, and I wasn't living in that state. And I'm telling you, like the elders came telling me. So like this is kind of like the hair on my neck is standing on me, and like I kind of like it's good to know, but it creeped me out. Oh boy.
All right. Ugh. Well, cool. I'll take a look at it right now. All right.
Okie dokie. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Diane needs new mods. Yours rock. 2 hearts. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Tawanda. All right, I'm going to start. I got to save. I got to look at this one. Hold on a second. It's, there we go. What's her name again? Angela Faye Hackl, right? Angela Faye Hackl. There you go. All right. 16. All right. So this says, Hiller said his deputies found an abandoned 4-door Pontiac sedan, which Schramm said belonged to Hackl's boyfriend Saturday on US 12, about 2.5 miles from the site where the body was recovered. He didn't get too excited at that point, Hiller said, because Hackl had said Thursday she was staying with friends. The body was about 2 to 3 miles from the car, which had damaged undercarriage. Investigators found a piece of undercarriage about 50 yards from the body. Tire tracks led to the area. Schramm said Hackl and the car were last seen Thursday night in Sauk City. Okay, there's that city. Yeah. Well, too bad, Tabs Jordan. I guess you'll just have to watch a different show. All right, just a second. Schramm said that Hackl's first reported their daughter missing on Friday. So this article is Tuesday the next week. Angela failed to return from an overnight stay with a friend. The body, that of a white woman between 18 and 25 years old, was found by a Sauk County deputy accompanied by a Richland County deputy in a field off Exchange Road. So let's see where Exchange Road is. I think we can probably get this really close. All right, there we go. There's Exchange Road. Now let's read the rest of it. Near County PF, just off of US 12. What does county PF mean? Oh, right there. I was kind of wondering about this. Is County Road PF. So does it continue? Okay, that's still PF. And then that's US 12. Let me check this out. I have to read that again. In a field off of Exchange Road near County PF. So this is County Road PF. Let me get, now I've lost Exchange Road again. Exchange Road. So in a field off of here. A field off Exchange Road near County PF just off US 12. So this is US 12 is right. Okay, now let me just put some pins out of here. I just saw it a minute ago. Right there. That's US 12. Right there. US 12. And then this is County Road PF. And then, but that other road is right here. So it sort of doesn't make sense to me what they wrote. Exchange Road. Alright, so let me try to make sense of this again. The body, that of a white woman. Oh, forget that part. Let's see. In a field off of Exchange Road near County PF, just off of US 12. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Because this is Exchange Road, a field. It's not just off of US 12, that's over here. But that's County Road PF. Okay, a field off of Exchange Road near County PF. Okay, so what they're saying is Exchange Road near County PF. So like right here. And then that is, but then they're referring to County Road PF being near, just off of US 12, which is right here. So yeah, I mean US 12, then you go this direction, and then it's close because here's Exchange Road. But why not reference like this road here instead? Yeah, so we'll just put it in here somewhere. Hopefully that's almost right. Wow, they actually have street view there. But kind of looks like this around in there. And let's see what it looked like as far back as we can go. I think we go to 92. So wow, that looks totally different. See that? Now there's homes. There's a big home there. Home, home, home. But in 1992, it was just one home there and a bunch of farmland. So probably a field off of here. It is near County Road PF. That's what it says. And then, which is just off of US 12, they're saying. So yeah, so County Road over to here, and then off of Exchange Road, which is near County Road PF. All right, good. I feel okay that we're mildly near the area. Yeah, it's about where I have it on this map here. I always hate newspaper maps. They suck. Alright, now let's get out of here and see if there's another article around that time. Okay, that was June. Okay, that's the one we just looked at. What the hell is this one? Look at this other one right here. Authorities said a Racine County search for a grave of an Illinois attorney ended Friday when autopsy determined a body found Thursday in Waukesha County was the missing lawyer. The body, buried with one arm protruding from a shallow grave, was found Thursday by a woman walking her dog in the town of Genesee, authorities said. Jesus. Barbarians everywhere. Okay, let's see if this one's easier or better. I think this is the same person. Yeah. Alright. Identification at this time is impossible. Okay, right here. The body was about 2 to 3 miles from the car, which had a damaged undercarriage. Investigators found a piece of the undercarriage about 50 yards from the body. Nope, that doesn't show. I think that's almost the same article. What the hell is that one? They found a baby in a toilet. Jesus. Barbarians. See, look at that. Baby's body found in wayside toilet. Alright, let me get it off of this. Angela Faye Hackl. Okay, so you got to get rid of June. I think if I had just put Faye with no E, it would have found it. Watch. See that? Boom. It came up with these. Right, and that's that article. See, they spelled it wrong in May, so you got to always kind of be mindful of that when you're doing these searches. I don't do that very often, but it's pretty weird. And there's a whole article about it. Let's see. Does this describe it any better? The location? Not really. Okay, here's an autopsy. The autopsy by state pathologist Robert Huntington confirmed that Hackl, whose body was discovered 3 miles west of the Sauk Prairie Airport, had died of a gunshot wound. She had been missing since leaving a Sauk City party Thursday night. Authorities said the autopsy revealed she was murdered, shot more than once with a small caliber pistol. A bullet that penetrated her heart and lungs was determined as the cause of death, according to Sauk County Sheriff Dan Hiller. And Aunt Bonnie Hackl described Angela Faye as a jovial, happy person who kept very busy. So 3 mile, let's see, Sauk Prairie Airport. I just want to see if I'm generally in the right spot. Okay, there's the airport. And is it about 3 miles from... Okay, that's 3 miles right there. So I mean, it's close, I guess. What's funny, though, is 3 miles was pretty close if you went with US 12 over here. But that's not how the description went. They definitely said it was a field off of Exchange Road. So that means that you know it's one of these fields off of here, but they were just giving general geographical locations with the other streets. Alright, now I'm going to go back to the right spelling. Or, it won't work on this page, so let me get out of here. I'm just trying to find more information on it. Yeah. They don't say anything about what was being said about being hung and all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, here's a murder suspect. Formal charges may be filed early next year in the slaying of Angela Hackl, who was one of 3 young women killed in central Wisconsin this summer. We're eliminating any possible suspects other than the particular one we are now focusing in on, Hiller said Thursday in a copyright interview. All right, this is probably going to be done sometime after the first of the year. Miss Hackl, 18, of Lone Rock, was shot to death in a wooded area near Sauk City. Her body was discovered June 15th. Hiller said the suspect, an adult male, is under constant surveillance from law enforcement authorities. He said it could take several weeks before charges are issued because the case is complicated and there are many reports that have to be examined. Hiller also said the man is not suspected in the murder of Barbara Blackstone. A third woman, Linda Nakrimer of yeah, so these are the same women again. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to find more articles on this. I think I'm just going to skip years. Go to 1988. So this is what I do for all the shows that I do for you guys. So you wonder, you know, it takes a long time to go through and get all the articles, put them together, you know, where it actually tells the story. All right, let's see if there's more information here. Wow, this is kind of a blurry look. White Sox County Sheriff deputies have not made an arrest in the June murder of an 18-year-old Lone Rock girl. Well, now all of a sudden there's no arrest? I thought you already had that. Lieutenant Randy Stamen of the Sheriff's Department said he's confident the department will eventually make an arrest in the case. The badly decomposed body of Angela Faye Hackl was discovered. How could it be badly decomposed? That's bullshit. She went missing on June 15th. Wait, so when did she go missing? Do you guys remember that? Ah, crap. Now I gotta, hold on, I did save that one, so. So this article here said, that's actually them on the scene looking, doing some kind of measurements or something. Let's see. Yeah, so you just graduated on May 29. Ah, crap. I thought she had just gone missing. Like literally that week. Yeah, I mean, even, look at that. May 29th she graduated. Okay, first reported their daughter missing on Friday afternoon. So this article here is hold on. This article is Tuesday, but she was found the day before. She was found Monday, and then she was reported missing on Friday. So how could she be badly decomposed in literally 2 or 3 days? I mean, I can see, decomposition starting, that kind of thing. However, I guess maybe she could have been missing quite a bit before, but was finally reported missing. Anyways, let's go to this. Hackl was discovered in a wooded area west of Sauk City on June 15. Hackl had been missing for 3 days. That's it. See, that's what I was thinking. So how was she badly decomposed? Does that make sense to anybody? Seriously, can anybody? Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think badly decomposed in 3 days. You'd have to have extraordinary situation. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. I could see saying, she was decomposed, but saying badly, it sounds really off. Hey Patricia, I did this whole show just for you. I wasn't even going to come on, but I saw your in the hospital statement saying, please come back on. Hopefully you feel better. Yeah, a week would 3 days. Come on. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Hackl had been missing for 3 days. She died after she was shot in the back, and the bullet pierced her heart and lung. In late November, Sauk County Sheriff Hiller issued a special news release saying he hoped to make an arrest in the case. Yep, that's what we just mentioned, that they had a suspect. It's very active investigation, Stammen said Tuesday. We have one officer assigned to it full-time and another part-time in several division of criminal investigation. Let's see. In November, Hiller said his department was eliminating all other suspects. Every case has a prime suspect. Alright, so let's go to another article. So this one's January 13th, 1988. So it doesn't look like there was an arrest made yet. So let's switch that to 1999. And nothing. What if I get rid of... How about if we get rid of Faye out of that? Well, okay. Now I'm going to go 2000 to... 2000... to like 2005 or something. So that's the guy's name, Terry Volbrecht. The Sauk County man convicted in 1989 of the murder of Angela Hackl. So, wow, I wonder why we didn't come up... Well, hold on, let's do it this way. Let me go back to that. Terry Volbrecht. Let me write it down. Yep. Guys, you can't copy and paste off of this damn thing. Terry Volbrecht. Sounds like a German name. What do you think, everybody? Ja, Volbrecht. So that's kind of weird. I mean, why didn't it show up when I put 1989 on there? I mean, that should have been a ban. Well, now it does. You didn't a minute ago. Or maybe you did. Hell, now I can't remember. It seemed like it didn't turn up anything when I did that. Terry Volbrecht told Angela Hackl the night before she disappeared in June 1987 that he'd overcome his battle with depression and drug abuse, according to Tuesday testimony. I used to be severely depressed and into drugs until I found God. Now I'm a new man. A witness for the state, Rebecca Nelson, testified she heard Volbrecht say, or heard him say, and then Volbrecht had been talking to Hackl and had heard her say she was depressed about the death of her brother Randy. Randy Hackl was killed in a car accident several years ago. During Tuesday morning's opening statement, Special Prosecutor Matthew Frank told the jury of 7 men and 7 women that 18-year-old Angela Hackl had been drinking with friends for much of the day before she disappeared. Testimony Tuesday indicated Hackl often became depressed if she drank too much, and that prior to her death she was receiving counseling to help her overcome what was fast becoming a drinking problem, in the words of the victim's boyfriend, Ron Lewis. Nelson was one of 3 people last known to have seen Hackl alive, according to testimony presented during the second day of the first-degree murder trial. So, let's see. So Rebecca Nelson, okay, is the friend, and she overheard Volbrecht saying that. Nelson was one of 3 people last known to have seen Hackl alive, according to testimony presented during the second day of the first-degree murder trial. The other 2 were Nelson's boyfriend, Joe Wilkinson, and Volbrecht. So there was 4 people there, Nelson and her boyfriend, and then Volbrecht, this whack job. Lewis testified that he and Hackl had been dating 2 years and that they were pre-engaged. He'd planned on giving her a ring that Christmas, he said. That's sad. Little testimony presented Tuesday revealed new information, much of the night preceding Hackl's death having been reconstructed during preliminary hearing in April. Walbeck, 28, of rural Sauk City, faces charges of first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault in connection with Hackl's death. Hackl's nude, now we got more information, nude body, shrouded by shrubbery, was found hanging from a tree. See, now there's a hell of a lot. Now the stuff that the caller said is in this. Listen to this. Hackl's nude body, this was all left out of the newspaper. Hackl's nude body, shrouded by shrubbery, was found hanging from a tree in a pine grove near the intersection of Block and Exchange Roads. So now we've got a better... Oh, there you go. So it's right there. That's block, and this is exchange. So near here. Now it'd be interesting if there was actually flowers or something on the ground there, wouldn't it? Oh, look, they still got the crime scene tape up. You see that? I'm just kidding. That's a Google Earth artifact. Pine Grove. Yeah, maybe in there. See that? Aren't those pine trees right there? And it's probably like right in there, right along that line. Weird. She had been shot in the back 3 times and probably died of those wounds before being hung in the tree, according to an autopsy report. Well, why did you do that, though? I mean, why did he hang her in the tree after he killed her? Some of the torn clothes were found nearby. The trial, which began with opening statements Tuesday and is expected to resume this morning. Special Prosecutor Matthew Frank said the state will call 40 witnesses before resting. A witness for the state who went for a ride with Volbrecht in his car shortly after Hackl's death is expected to tell of seeing some wire in the back seat and asking Volbrecht about it. Frank told the jury that Volbrecht had named several possible suspects in the beginning of the investigation, including Sauk Prairie police officer Thomas Pershey. Pershey was fingerprinted. Oh, so early on in the investigation, it looks like Volbrecht was trying to point to other people. And he even pointed to a police officer, Thomas Pershey. So now we're getting into the conspiracy that the caller was talking about. Pershey was fingerprinted and asked for a pubic hair sample. The public hair test eliminated Pershey as a suspect, Frank said. So they actually complied with what Volbrecht was saying. Kenny told the jury Volbrecht saw Pershey driving his pickup truck. So this is what, let's see. Kenny told the jury that Volbrecht saw Pershey driving his pickup truck in Sauk City at about 3:30 a.m. June 12. The defense maintains that it is physically impossible for the person who fired those shots to have been downtown at 3:30, Kenny said. Frank said the state will produce a witness that will testify he heard what sounded like 3 firecrackers at 2:45 a.m. Volbrecht plans to take the stand later in the trial, along with the other witnesses for the defense, and tell his version of what happened the night Hackl disappeared, according to Kenny. Kenny told the jury of seven men and 7 women, that the evidence against his client is completely circumstantial. Special Prosecutor Matthew Frank concurred, saying that no murder weapon was recovered and no physical evidence was taken from Hackl's body that would indicate directly that Volbrecht had sex with her or that he killed her. Now it's, now it is sort of, it does sort of start sounding like it's a little interesting, right? Is he a wrongfully convicted man? So this was September 27th. So maybe if we find an article just after this, there'll be an update. So that was 27th. This is 28th. So maybe they'll refresh some of the trial. Hackl seduced me, Volbrecht. Oh, so now Volbrecht is saying that he was there, though. So here we go. Terry Volbrecht is in a taped interview a week after the murder of Angela Hackl, told a very different story of what happened in June 1987. the night the 18-year-old girl disappeared after last being alive with him. Tuesday, Hackle's friends testified that they had not seen any interaction between Volbrecht and Hackl that would indicate she was trying to seduce him. Volbrecht told detectives in a taped statement that he noticed that what he noticed about Hackl were her great legs and nice smile. First, her looks caught my attention, Volbrecht said. Then he said he noticed noticed the way she was swinging her hips while dancing and looking in his direction. Instead of dancing, the two shot a game of pool together and talked, he said. When they left the bar at closing time, Hackl invited him along to look for friends, and he remembers her trying to convince her friends to join them. Volbrecht said he took the wheel of the car Hackl was driving. I didn't think she would drive because she was pretty buzzed, Volbrecht said. As they drove looking for Hackl's friend, Volbrecht said her hand started wandering. One thing led to another, and we were both hot and bothered. I knew what she wanted. Albrecht said. The detective asked the defendant if Hackl had actually asked for sex. Not with words, was Volbrecht's reply. And see, this is what he said a week after they found her body. So he's been a suspect the whole time, obviously. The two abandoned their search for the friend, he said, and instead went to a marshy area. Yeah, because isn't that normally where you go? I mean, like if you're you're meeting somebody and you're hot and bothered, I think the first place I think of going is a marshy area. How about you? Yeah, let's see. He said, and instead we went to a marshy area near the Wisconsin River to have sex. She started taking my clothes off, so I started taking her clothes off, he said. One thing led to another, and I shot her in the back 3 times and then hung her up on a tree. He answered questions about any unusual sexual acts in the negative. Volbrecht also answered in the negative when asked whether any clothes had been ripped, and denied in the taped interview having done anything with Hackl that she didn't want that night. So if there was ripped clothes, of course she asked for it. The two helped each other get dressed again and talked about seeing each other at a later time, according to Volbrecht's story. What a load of crap that is. See, the whole story, just listening to it makes you go, oh, yeah, bullshit. I saw another, on the page 2, there was a whole, so it looks like that's him right there. That's him right there. Hey, it looks like a young Dan Aykroyd, huh? Right before he did the Bassomatic commercial on Saturday Night Live. So let's read this one. The tale of 2 Terrys unfolds. A tale of 2 Terrys is unfolding in Sauk County courtroom this week as Terry Volbrecht stands trial on charges that he charmed Lone Rock teenager Angela Hackl June 11, 1987, at a Sauk City tavern, and then savagely raped and murdered her early the next morning. Volbrecht, 28, held in Sauk County Jail since February in lieu of $150,000 cash bond, told Sauk County Sheriff Detective Ken Foltz a week after Hackl's death how he had accepted Christ a year or so before, according to a taped interview played for the jury Wednesday afternoon. Volbricht also spoke about a girlfriend to whom he was engaged and how her presence had made a difference in his life. That woman is expected to testify during the trial. Volbricht told Fultz when he met Hackl, and she seemed depressed. I tried to explain how Jesus works in our lives, and she didn't want to hear about it, the defendant said. He's a strong part of my life. He's made a difference in my life, Volbricht said. Volbricht said in the taped interview that it was in thinking about some of the problems he'd had with his girlfriend that he began to turn to God. My eyes are really dry, by the way. I have the heaters underneath me and it's blowing into my eyes, so it's just, I don't know, I have the same crap that my mom has. Every single ailment that she has, I have the same stuff. I'm not sure why I was gifted all those things. Yeah. Jesus saw it was time for me to know him better, he said. The defendant told Fultz that it was the comfort he had found in Christ that he was trying to share with Hackl that night. Of course. Yeah. Also, in that statement to Fultz, he described himself as a peacemaker, saying that bartenders don't worry about fights breaking out in their bars when he's around. Hey, whoever the caller was, I think this guy did it, okay? I don't care about any of the rumors or any of that stuff. This guy did it. I usually break things up. A bar is no place for a fight. Really? Volbricht said on a tape. He told of getting to know Hackl and her friends Rebecca Nelson and Joe Wilkinson after Wilkinson had a minor disagreement in the bar and Volbricht offered him assistance. But a different Terry was evident in the same statement. He told of how Hackl came onto him while dancing at Hondo's bar in Sauk City and how the two of them, both drinking heavily, drifted together as the night wore on. Volbricht told of how he felt Hackl seduced him, and he'd had sex with a girl he'd only met that night. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't consensual. During opening statements Tuesday, Special Prosecutor Matthew Frank said he will produce a witness who will say Volbricht said he was only looking for a woman to have sex with the night he and Hackl left the bar together. And there he is, right there. Alright, so that's the 28th. That's September 28th. And this is October 4th. Let's see what's going on there. Remains the same. During Tuesday's testimony, Volbricht told about his failing romance with a girlfriend of 2 years. He also told the jury of 7 men and 7 women, so he got to the stand, I guess, that he'd backed out on a planned marriage because of cold feet. On the night of Angela Hackl's murder, 1987, Volbricht readily admitted to having sex with the 18-year-old. I wonder why they couldn't find any DNA, though. They need to... Well, I guess this is probably... It's solved already, but I mean, it seems like they should have been able to find that. During his 6.5 hours of testimony, Volbricht told jurors what happened between him and Hackl. During the day-long testimony, Volbricht said that he had taken Hackl to a marsh where they had sex on a sleeping bag. Volbricht said he never forced Hackl to have sex with him and never harmed the young blonde in any way. After the late-night interlude in the marsh area, Volbricht said the couple returned to Sauk City where Hackl dropped him off near his car and casually called back, "I'll call you." I thought you said earlier that he had plans to see each other. Volbricht said that was the last time he saw the woman. Hackl was found nearly 4 days later in a teenage party area known as the Pines. The recent high school student's bullet-riddled body was found hung from a pine tree by a tire chain. No? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. But why didn't she have his DNA anyways? I mean, it's not like he didn't say he used a condom or anything. So Volbrick page 2, is it? During Tuesday's testimony, Volbrick's story remained basically the same from the time he was first questioned by police officers through his arrest in February. Volbrick says he met Hackl at Hondo's bar in Sauk City, and the two, after talking, playing pool, left together at bar time. Huh. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting that I guess it was a party place for her high school friends, and she just graduated from high school. That part, it's a little different. So that was October. And there he is right there. Man held in murder of Hackl, Terry Volbrick. That was in February 1989. October 4th. So he's found guilty. A man who denied killing a young woman he escorted from a tavern was convicted Wednesday on first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault. I don't know. I mean, how could it not be him? I mean, he denied doing it, but he's sort of setting up his own alibi. Oh yeah, I got her unclothed. So, you know, trying to explain any possible... it's crazy. He's 28. And she's 18. I thought. Yeah, she's only 18 years old and he's 28. A man who denied killing a young woman he escorted from a tavern was convicted Wednesday of first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault. Terry Volbrick, 28, testified that he made love with the 18-year-old victim, but was not responsible for her death. Angela Faye Hackl was found shot to death in June 1987. Her nude body was tied to a tree with tire chains. Before a circuit court jury returned its verdict Wednesday, prosecutor Matthew Frank described Volbrick as calm, cool, with ice water in his veins. Jurors deliberated about 2 hours. Volbrick faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison on the murder charge. No sentencing date was announced immediately. Volbrick of Sauk City testified for more than 5 hours Tuesday. I thought it was 6.5. Sauk City Tavern with Hackl earlier June 12, 1987, and that they drove around looking for an after party. Unable to find a party, he said, they drove to a nearby marsh and made love, because we all go to marshes every time you want to go make love. Then Hackl drove him to his car in Sauk City. I can just see it now. All right, you'll be in your house and your husband will say, hey, let's make love. And you'll say, well, let's go find a marsh first. The body was found 3 days later, chained in a kneeling position. That's pretty crazy. to a pine tree in a wooded area just north of Prairie du Sac. She had been shot in the back 3 times, authorities said. Frank said Volbrick delivered a vintage performance on the witness stand in an effort to conceal the truth. Volbrick tried to make the crime seem like something other than sexual assault and a murder by using a chain and piling wood around the tree. He said, adding that Volbrick wanted it to look like a satanic sacrifice. Volbrick acknowledged, mentioning to police 2 days after the body was found, that the murder might have been done by a satanic cult. Well, how would he have known that? He wouldn't have known anything about it. Right? The only thing that was in the paper, see, that's the thing. That's why police don't tell everybody everything. We went through the newspaper. The only thing that was in the newspaper was that she was shot in the back, right? Well, how does that speak to a satanic cult whatsoever? It doesn't. So he said 2 days after the body was found that the murder might have been done by a satanic cult. Huh. Are you trying to put that in their minds because you made it look like that? That's what I would think. I always wondered why Angela Hackl's body was left like that, Frank said. But if you put a match to that, you have a human sacrifice. So maybe they showed him a picture. I don't know. Frank said the victim's clothing was torn off, indicating there was no consensual sexual encounter. It's torn off, indicating that. How does that indicate that at all? Oh, consensual, yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't always mean that, but yeah, I see what they were saying. I missed the word consensual. Warren Kinney, Volbrick's lawyer, said his client told the truth to authorities, but it was a truth they didn't and probably still don't want to believe. Kinney repeated his contention that Sauk County Deputy Sheriff bungled the handling of the physical evidence. He accused a Sauk Prairie policeman of lying when he testified he looked into Volbrick's car and didn't see him inside. Let's see. Testified he looked into Volbrick's car and didn't see him inside. Volbrick said he was sleeping in the car that time. Right. Just everything's so convenient, you know. So that was October 5th. November. And his brother offers a reward for what? Why would his brother be offering a reward? Oh, Volbrick's brother. Okay. For the real killer, right? Yeah. Friends of Hackl testified they saw the pretty young blonde alive leaving Hondo's Tavern at bar time with Terry Holbrick June 12th. I wonder why she left with him, though. You know, that's a little interesting. Terry Holbrick told authorities and testified during his trial that the two went searching for some of Hackl's friends and blah, blah, blah. One thing led to the other. Instead of bringing peace of mind at last to the Sauk Prairie community, the guilty verdict rendered after less than 2 hours of deliberations by Sauk County jury has only raised more questions with skepticism about the jury selection process. How can you go and decide a man's life in an hour and 45 minutes? Well, if the testimony was that overwhelming. It doesn't sound like they had any physical evidence, though, so yeah. It's a little weird. So now we're getting back to what the caller was saying, right? Rick Volbrick said part of his decision to offer a reward was the result of the Jacobs trial. So obviously the brother doesn't think his brother did it. Rick Volbrick said he doesn't believe his brother raped Hackl, shot her 3 times in the back, and then hung her body from a tire chain early June 12, 1987. Although he was with her the night before, late, right? And even on that same day. I don't think he did it. There are only a couple people who know who did, and one of them's dead. Terry Volbrick is the kind of person who will break up a fight in a bar, not start one. Oh yeah, he said it didn't make any sense to him why Terry Volbrick, if he did murder Hackl, would have put the body nearly in his backyard. In Rick's backyard. Well, maybe because he was familiar with it. You ever think of that? You thought, wow, what a great place to put it. Oh, and by the way, there's satanic worshippers out here, of course. So he was sentenced to life plus 20 years for the brutal slaying and rape of Lone Rock teenager Angela Hackl. Judge Wolf cited the violence of the murder, Volbrick's character, and protection of the public in sentencing the rural Sauk City mechanic to a sentence only 5 years less than the maximum term. In a rambling 40-minute statement, Volbrick charged the police were out to get him and did not seriously consider other suspects. Sounds a little bit like the, what he's saying and then the caller's saying, like that innocent person that we covered. Who's that? What's his name? I can't remember his name, by the way. We just talked, the one that was the police officer, his girlfriend was dating the black guy, and then he probably ended up killing her instead of the guy that's actually been in prison. Yeah, Rodney Reed, there you go. Wasn't popping into my head. Let's see. So this is 1990, the next year. Massive internal injuries caused the death of Barb. Let's see. That's a whole different case. So why is it bringing up her over here? Also said the area where McFadden's body was found in no way suggests her death was similar to the Angela Hackl murder in June. There wasn't a Hackl murder scene. There were no similarities. Why are they bringing that up, though? For an appeal, maybe. Anyways, I'm getting sleepy. I've been on the air a lot of hours today. Yeah, a lot of hours. Well, who knows? Maybe this one will turn out. It just seems like the odds are so low. He was seen with her leaving the bar. She was killed that same early morning, right? And then he's leaving the bar with her. And then he comes up with a story about how they wanted to have sex, so they went to a marshy area. I'm not sure why he brought that up. Why bring up the marshy area? What did that have to do with anything? And then, it could be that he transported her body over there. I don't know. But it seems like he was making up excuses of why, that he had sex with her, but it's weird because they couldn't find anything. See, that's the part that bugs me, is that the police weren't able to find anything, but he was admitting to it because he thought they would have found something. Or how about this? He says he did have sex with her, but they didn't find any evidence of that. So, is he lying about that part? Maybe they didn't actually have sex and he was doing something else to her. Either way, there's something off with him. All right, anyways, that was kind of a long, random show. Nobody really called in again about, well, a couple of calls, but it was kind of a strange night of calls. That's for damn sure. And I did a flyby earlier. I'm too tired to do one now. Oh, man. So thank you to Shay, Ashley, and Tawanda for the super chats. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with all that. I'm not a, big conspiracy theorist like that. I think this guy did it. I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, it was pretty weird though. I guess we'll, there's a chance he didn't do it, right? And he could be totally telling the truth that after he had sex with her, he drops her off at her car, and then lo and behold, somebody else kidnapped her, and again she's naked again, and then it just seems like the odds of that are so low. And they must have had, we didn't get to hear the whole trial. There must have been a lot of information given out. And he even went on the stand, and there might have been a lot of stuff that he screwed up on. Who knows? But anyways, everybody, thank you very much for showing up tonight. There's Blue. You guys can check out Blue one last time. Hey, Blue. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Hey, buddy. How's it going, Blue? Yeah. Yeah, the whole world revolves around Blue. In Blue's mind. Okay, everybody. All right. Well, thank you for coming tonight. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Boom. I'm gonna sing "Oh Mandy" for you. Just kidding. Jeez. All right, everybody. Be safe out there.